All right, guys, welcome to the Get Bit Podcast, the podcast for blurs and nerds of everybody to actually join us. We are working with new equipment, so bear with us. And yes, that is a black background because, I didn't actually get this set up in time. But anyway, that being said, I'm your host, most Will Buchanan. Of course, my co-host to my right, your left, Joe. I wonder what he's going to come up with this week. What you got, Joe?
I'm sad I never got an award at the Video Game Awards, Joe Tonello.
Don't feel bad. There's a YouTube hashtag got shorted link that you can feel free to be commented on. But Joe, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good.
Oh, I do. In your world, I completely and utterly understand. But with also that being said, guys, say what?
I'm eagerly awaiting next weekend.
Ooh, yes, it is the forbidden. That door is eventually definitely coming. But before we do talk about the goodness that is Spider-Man: No Way Home, we do have to sit there and say that yes, this is a family-friendly podcast. We do try to watch our language, but sometimes words do fly. At the same time, guys, there are some things that will be shown. We are not going to mute them tonight. We are going to test the DMCA waters. However, things that may be shown may be too intense for younger viewers, so viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. So we are going to go ahead and pretty much talk about the elephant in the room. And yes, we are going to basically talk about Spider-Man: No Way Home. Now, aside from that, for all those that if you've been under a rock, Spider-Man: No Way Home will actually start showing the 16th. The earliest shows the 16th, which will be this Thursday. I think there are some showings on the 15th of the Wednesday. And of course, if you were able to get a ticket, you will be able to see it. But with that being said, again, we are going to reiterate, this is the jumping, I say it's the jumping off point for the next couple of movies going forward, with Spider-Man kind of being the crux of everything. However, prediction-wise, I still sit there and say that, yes, there will be a Sinister Six, and I still say that we're going to wind up seeing Kingpin and possibly Matt Murdock or Daredevil. I kind of hope it's both in the movie with Eddie Brock somewhere in the wings. But any quick predictions about No Way Home that you would have, Joe?
Well, I know we're seeing Charlie Cox, so we will definitely have Matt Murdock, and this is probably where we will establish Matt Murdock in the MCU, but I doubt we'll have Daredevil. If anything, I think Venom will be the accidental sixth member of he just wants to get a hold of that Spider Kid, and it'll just like coincide or be as Venom does. It'll be on accident as a fight happens.
Yeah, I can see that. But I am looking forward to it, just because of the fact of the matter, it's going to basically have so much going into it. But I'm actually going to be going to see it the 17th, which will be this Friday. Joe, you said you're also seeing on the 17th, or
I will be a part of a branch of Spider People from both Cosplay Collective and the Nashville Avengers, which are two cosplay groups. So I will be there in my Scarlet costume at the Malco Smyrna Theater, the 18th.
okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So just in case, if you are in the Middle Tennessee area and you definitely want to see a lot of cosplayers come out for Spider-Man: No Way Home, then definitely Malco Smyrna Theater, which is off of Samberly Parkway in Smyrna, Tennessee, is where you'll be able to find Joe and other people who, again, are of the cosplay community that will be out there. I just want to meet the guy who's gonna be playing Old Man, who's gonna be playing Peter B. Parker. Because I wonder if he's still gonna come out in the slacks, in the sweats, and the half shoe.
I mean, it's the correct weather for sweats.
You ain't lying about that. This weather's up and down. But again, with No Way Home, like I said, me and Joe both are looking forward to it, to seeing exactly what happens from it. I am going to say it's going to be nothing short of having a few surprises. And I still say, for this will fact of the matter, I know we mentioned Kingpin, but it's going to come down to a race between that and a certain show on Disney Plus where we'll see Kingpin first. But before we actually get to the shows, there is some news that we are going to cover first very quickly. Some news, again, which hurts. It hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. And again, as a beloved fan of Cowboy Bebop, I love the anime. And I love the Netflix adaptation when it came out. It looked great. It looked like it was going to really do great fan service. And again, if you follow my Facebook and you follow my IG, I loved Cowboy Bebop. I love the direction they went with it. I love the fact that they were willing to take chances on it. I love the fact that really every character brought something different to Faye and to Spike and to Jet. And even Ed. Again, spoiler alert, Ed shows up at the very end, which a lot of people, how can we put this ever so nicely, Joe?
They just didn't really like her. They didn't really like them a whole lot.
Yeah. So again, with that all being said, and of course, Joe follows the other side of Twitter, who did, as you said, Joe, they vented their displeasement toward it.
No, they didn't really. Japan's Twitter, and I got this from an article, I believe, from Kotaku or one of the other, nerd sites that we always follow. They just showed reactions, and they were just kind of lukewarm of, well, I'm not surprised. Why does Netflix keep doing live action anime adaptations? It was fine. I'm not surprised it's only got one season. How are they going to do a second season? Stuff like that. As for me on this show, I was fine. I think the best character out of everybody was Jet, because I think the actor, who I want to say this, he's new. The man was so much Jet that I think he was actually getting close to doing the actual dub voice on his own.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that Vicious was a rage-induced cornball throughout most of this.
Yeah.
Because he was really just like a one-note character used to set up the finale. Julia was kind of there. And I didn't mind them, but they really should have toned it down just as much. Ed is not as yelly as that in the series. She is erratic.
Yeah, she's all over the place.
But they are not screaming at the top of their lungs, different pitches.
Yeah.
Really? So the only thing that really ticked me off in the whole thing is that they ditched Ein on a planet.
Yeah.
That really did actually bother me.
But again, it was the direction of it all did. I was I loved the fact they were going different. Now, for a lot of people, when they watch an anime or read a manga, they expect the adaptation to follow it from A to B. Now, the thing about it is, which kind of bothered me, was I was they wanted to continue into a series, and don't get me wrong, Cowboy Bebop, the original 26 episodes and anime episodes. Okay, I think it's 26, 27. I know I'm around that. I know I'm around that number, but a lot of people were we didn't get to see Ed. We didn't really get to see a lot of it. But I'm for the direction that they took, I just thought it was great. And of course, I thought John Cho did an excellent job as Spike Spiegel. And again, with I never can pronounce that black guy's name, Yudisman. It'll come to me in a minute. But like you said, I agree with you. I agree with you. He played a great job as Jet Black, and I love the Faye Valentine's character, the actress that did that. But alas,
Shakar.
Say what?
Mustafa Shakar.
Thank you. But it's I don't know what it is. And
he was Bushwhacker in Luke Cage.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, because he looks so different.
Yeah, he was Bushwhacker in Luke Cage. That's why another reason why I think he's an exceptional actor. But I mean, overall, it's just that it is disappointing because Netflix did kind of have a lot riding on this. I thought this was significantly better than Death Note and even the Bleach adaptation, which again, I'm a big fan of Bleach. Wasn't a fan of how they try to do it because I think that some animes do not transition to live action very well. Just because in anime, you really don't have any rules that you follow. You can kind of do whatever you want. You can go over the top, but over the top action really doesn't translate well to live action. I think that was the problem that a lot of people had in their minds when it comes to Cowboy Bebop. It's you want the same thing that you had in anime, the same thing that you want in live action. And I just think for me, some people got disappointed, which I can understand. But But I mean, but still though, to cancel it all together, that's just the way Netflix is gonna roll. Either it gets all ratings or gets nothing. So again, it was sad, but at least it'll be on. At least the first season will be on there until they decide to get rid of it. But moving right along, and also, guys, let us know what you think about the Cowboy Bebop cancellation of Netflix. Do you like it? Do you think it's justified? Or, are you indifferent? Or were you planning on seeing it? I mean, even though it's kind of been out for almost 2 months.
Can
But
I just say something that's horrifically blasphemous, but also kind of true sometimes?
go for it.
Outlaw Star is a better show than Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop just had better music.
Let us know what you think in the comments about that statement. Because that's an argument starter. That is an argument starter. I mean,
if it wasn't for the music, outstanding music, would you still say the same thing between viewing of Outlaw Star versus Cowboy Bebop? You have to set the music aside. Just put the shows side by side with each other.
That's like saying which of my future children was the favorite. Because I like them both equally. So it's like I can't choose. I can't choose because I have equal love for both of them. I'm sorry. I cannot play Rosemary's Choice on this. Nope. Not doing it. But you guys in the comments, let us know what you guys think about that. Other news that we're getting into besides before Joe puts me into a conundrum. Of course, I did want to talk about this one, Letitia Wright, and keep in mind this is a reportedly Letitia Wright, the girl who plays Shuri in Black Panther, is reportedly done with the MCU. It has been said that through a very certifiable source that Letitia Wright is leaving the MCU due to her vaccination status. For all those that don't remember, a few months ago, Letitia Wright did get into some hot water about certain videos that she posted on social media about the COVID vaccine and that why she believes that she should not get it, which then did kind of put her status in Black Panther in jeopardy. And as of this reporting by Giant Freaking Robot, that it seems like she may be on her way out. Now, again, it is I'm not saying anything.
Be respectful of it. We will respect her point of view. We do not agree with it. We are sorry to see her go, but we are also more than okay that M'Baku is taking over as Black Panther.
Which is the other part of that. Which again, like I said before, guys, we could go down the route about vaccinations, things of that nature. But my thing is, when it starts costing you opportunities, for example, to be a part of the MCU is a dream. To play either a hero or a villain or a recognizable character. Because even Taserface, Pete Taserface can go to cons and the man cleans up. That's all I'm saying. For having only one role in Guardians of the Galaxy, and yet everybody recognizes him as Taserface. So getting a role in the MCU or even DC or any other superhero movie, whether you're a villain or not, that is remarkably well. So I can respect somebody's opinion as far as how they feel about the COVID vaccine. But if you're telling me that this keeps me from playing a role on an MCU movie, good luck to you. That's all I can sit there and say. But on the other note of it, though, M'Baku being the Black Panther, which again, in the comic books, he was. There was actually several people who have actually taken the role of Black Panther. I'm not mad about M'Baku. I think that's a great choice. I want to see where they go to it. I even think that we're going to see a resurrected Killmonger somewhere, because a lot of people are saying, well, we want to see Killmonger. Well, you're probably not going to get him so soon because it's not going to make very sense in the story. But M'Baku kind of taking on that role of being Black Panther, I think that works. I mean, it does unite the tribes together. It does kind of set M'Baku on his own story, and there's source material they can go from that. But Joe, what are your thoughts about it?
I mean, I'm fine with it. We already saw in the comics during Last Annihilation that M'Baku is now the leader of the Wakandan Space Federation.
Yeah, which is still...
I'm down with it. I enjoyed the actor when he was M'Baku.
Yeah.
He didn't get too much to do when he came back, but, that's fine.
I still think it's great though, but again, I mean, me and Joe have said before, Joe, because where he works, he is a healthcare professional, so we could go into that whole other we've already been down that tirade road of what should be done, but when it costs you an opportunity, that's the part where I'm just like, I don't know if I could be okay with that. That's just me. Like if someone told me, "Hey, Will, we want you to play a Blue Marvel, but you have to be vaccinated." Cool, I'm already shot up. Let's do this. I'm like, not even blue. You know what? I don't even say Blue Marvel. If they turn around and said, "We want to give you the role of Devil Dinosaur," cool. I will still take it. But it's like, but again, I have to stress this very heavily before moving on. I would like to say that hopefully decisions like this that can be life changing and great for especially if you're in the acting, especially if you want to be an actor to move forward and get other roles. We've seen what Iron Man has done for Robert Downey Jr. Let's be honest. Robert Downey Jr.'s career exploded again after Iron Man, and of course, Chris Evans, which after Fantastic Four, which we all know, and granted, Fantastic Four, the Sony ones, were better than the remake that they tried to do, but he came back as Captain America, and you saw what he did. So we see what second chances can do for people. Don't believe me? Ask Ryan Reynolds. But it's just that it's my whole thing is, just before we move on, it's just like, don't let something that particularly be small prevent you from a life-changing career opportunity. That's all I'm saying. But moving right along, guys. Of course, as we did talk about Spider-Man No Way Home was the only thing that was going to be revving up as the week of the Spider shows up. There was another trailer that they dropped on us that we did not see coming, and it's the trailer for the Spider-Verse. Okay, so that was basically the trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. Now, again, guys, with Part 1, and I'm going to just go ahead and play it again because we're having some technical difficulties, but Joe will be right back. But again, guys, just to let you know, this is the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which again was, to me, one of the better animated movies that came out a couple of years ago, and that they are continuing with the story of Miles Morales, which I thought was very cool. That being said, it's going to be interesting because again, we now see as I'm playing the trailer again and I'm muting it this time so you guys can hear me. Of course, he does get visited by Gwen, Spider-Gwen, and of course is now being pulled back into the Spider-Verse, in which we now see another familiar character, Spider-Man 2099, which I believe I forget which Spider-Man that was. I'm having a brain fart right now, but of course, we're probably going to see the other official characters from the across the Spider-Verse. I'm still hoping for Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man Noir, because for Nicolas Cage to nail that character so well, it was definitely interesting, and at the same time, I actually dig it. Now, of course, with this adaptation, this is part one, which I believe they sat there and said that I was wrong. So they did say will be in movie theaters in October 22nd. So again, October 22nd, October 2022, because I keep on want to say 2022nd. It's so weird as we get up into the 2000s that you start forgetting stuff. But anyway, you need to hear over there. So October 2022 is we'll be able to see Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I'm looking forward to it, and I know Joe, when he comes back on, will give his thoughts about it. But while we're waiting for him to come back, we're just going to keep this moving along. So, also, with that being said, guys, as you've probably already heard that, again, we did talk about the Video Game Awards, the VGAs, that actually did occur this Thursday, just yesterday. I don't know why I'm slow about that. Just yesterday, the Video Game Awards did come on, and of course, Video Game Awards, for a lot of people, we don't really care about the awards. We care about the trailers. Why? Because it seems that a lot of trailers, surprise ones, do get actually seen and do actually get talked about, and of course, there are some which are downright surprising. Just to go ahead and give a little bit of list of names, because we do have a few trailers I want to show for it. But again, there's some of them I think are quite of note, so you can definitely go back on YouTube and follow them as well. Go watch them as well. I thought Babylon's Fall, which is another trailer, which I thought was pretty well. The next chapter in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak looks very well. Evil West, which looks like an over-the-top Devil May Cry style game. I'm looking forward to that. They actually have the updated trailer, so it'll actually be out sometime in 2022. Star Wars Eclipse. I have no idea what to make of that. And trust me, I watched it. I tried my hardest about Star Wars Eclipse. And I'm going to ask Joe when he comes back about that, because maybe he's figured out what it's about. I got no clue. I literally and figuratively have no clue about Star Wars Eclipse. Every time I watch it, it's like, is it supposed to be, because it's being made from the same people who did Detroit. Detroit made Detroit Stay Human, which is basically a video game by decision. So it's like Mass Effect on a global scale. So it could be that type of game. I'm not really sure, but again, we'll see. Also, they did show the DLC for Cuphead. DLC, the deliciously last. It's a DLC for Cuphead. If you don't know what Cuphead is a nice little 2D side-scroller shooter, and honestly, I love the difficulty on it, and the fact that they actually have a DLC for it now, which actually will be out very soon. Looking forward to that as well, and you can find the trailer for it on YouTube as well. And also GTFO, which is actually a game right now. It's out on Steam. From the trailer, it just looked very different. It looked interesting. It kind of reminded me of Killing Floor in a way. But again, I just thought it was interesting. And when I finally get my game PC the right way I wanted to, I will be finally able to go on Steam and be able to play those games that I've been purchasing and stocking up in my area. But as far as those are the games that I just want to say very quickly, that again got my attention, things of that nature. And of course, because we kind of want to keep the runtime going, we didn't want to overload you guys as far as the trailers there are. So again, but the trailers that we did want to show, I thought were pretty cool. The first one was a surprise. And I say surprise because I never thought that I would ever see Warner Brothers take a chance on this. And I mean this in every sense of the word. Warner Brothers is finally doing what they should have done a long time ago, taking a chance on something.
My daughter, a new threat comes to our shores, and I must call you home. Restore what has been broken. Unite old enemies. Forge new bonds. You are a hero, but you can be more. You can be a leader. You are Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I still can't believe that. That finally, and I never thought I would say it to this day that DC Warner Brothers would finally do something. They finally took a risk creating a Wonder Woman game. And again, from the little bit that we've seen, I mean, the character flaw, the character's makeup is great. We know next to nothing on where she'll be, whether she'll be in the current times, whether it'll be an origin as far as her being on Themyscira. We don't know exactly what they're going to do with this story. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to it just because it's exactly what we asked for. It is exactly what we asked for. The simple fact of the matter is just that it's like we wanted something different. And there he is. So, hey, Joe, you with me?
Yep.
Okay. So we were actually so where I was actually at though was just talking about the Wonder Woman trailer. But before I go back into that, we did actually cover the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse trailer. Just really quickly, what were your thoughts on that?
I want more.
Because I mean, I was there explaining about how we saw Spider-Man 2099 and why is he chasing? Why does it look like he's chasing Miles and feels like he's kind of. Say what?
Oh, I bet I have ideas. I have theories on that, and it's very simple. As we see 2099 in the last movie is like trying to find what was going on and trying to prevent like that from happening. So my trying to prevent like the interdimensions from meeting each other. My idea, my theory on that is he is trying to prevent what's going on to preserve his timeline because certain things have to happen for 2099 to even exist.
Yeah.
So Miles and Gwen and God knows who else, even Spider-Man could make an appearance. But if they all do this, that could lead to a possible collapse of the timeline, not just the multiverse. So 2099 is like, okay, everybody get back in their spot. I need this to happen.
Right.
All my stuff is here. If you do this, I don't have stuff.
No, that's fair. So aside from that, because I know I just showed the trailer for. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We also know that each world will have its own individual design. So every time they road trip, we will get to see a different version of Miles, a different version of Gwen, and whoever else is with them. So the world we see that they are fighting in currently is possibly Indian Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Due to a couple of Indian letters in the background as they are tumbling, and quite possibly 2099, but I'm not sure on that.
So also the thing I was going to point out, I was going to say I just want to see Spider-Man Noir again. I don't know why, but Nicolas Cage made that character for me. Just see him come back and just really resume his rhetoric. I love that part about that. But
supposedly the director just told him just go full you, and he's like, so fool me, yes, okay.
And that explains the role he was born to play. But also what we did actually just show part of the VGA trailers. I did show the one for Wonder Woman, the sneak peek at it, and I was sitting there saying that finally, Warner Brothers, you're taking a risk on a Wonder Woman game. And just want to know your thoughts about that before we move on to the next thing.
Oh man, I am so looking forward to this. This has been on my monolith, so that means that we have a chance of Wonder Woman using the Nemesis system from both the Shadow of Mordor games, which could lead to rogue Amazons, could lead to rogue demigods, gods, mythical creatures. Her very limited rogues gallery, a number of things could be implemented with the Nemesis system.
Yeah.
We also their combat is solid. Wonder Woman is a interesting character because she's more of a brawler with a shield parry system. Sometimes she has a sword, sometimes it's lasso, uh, sometimes it's shield, sometimes it's just her going straight out brawling. From the trailer we see, it's definitely going to be lasso. The only thing I can say to this is God help anything that makes her put her hair up in a ponytail.
I still, but that's the one thing I was kind of saying, like where it's like they release so little of the game, so it's like we don't know where it's gonna be set.
Oh,
Are we
yeah,
gonna? Are we gonna?
this is basically just a vertical slice, if even that.
Yeah. So I was sitting there. So I was sitting there saying, we don't know if it's gonna be based in Themyscira. We don't know if it's gonna put her in modern times. We don't know exactly where this is actually gonna start as far as the direction they're going with.
If it was up to me, I would set it in different eras.
Okay. As far as kind of like an Assassin's Creed going through it.
Well, like you start at Themyscira, something goes wrong, but then you have to jump a certain amount of years. You're in World War II or World War One, whichever one you want to do. Jump a certain amount of years. Have that Nemesis system keep track of. Okay, well, this satyr that like knocked you out in one level, he's gone off and over the years. He's got a glamour charm, and now he's the head of a major company or something.
Right.
Got to keep going. Or this Amazon that betrayed the sisterhood has gone out into the world of man, and she's here at this point in time.
That makes sense. But yeah, I thought it was gonna be cool. Unfortunately, there's where because it's a teaser trailer, guys, we don't really have a lot more information on that except a website and Warner Brothers. So again, we are going to be definitely following that up as it comes along. Another game trailer they did show, which again I thought was really cool, and then this also might be on the little graphic side, but we're not going to play a lot of it. And it's one of the games again was surprising for me because I didn't play this game until I saw it on Xbox Game Pass. And now to actually see it again, the sequel of it, it's basically Hellblade, which if everybody doesn't remember Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, it was an interesting third person game because it was kind of like playing it was a different hack and slash type of game. It was like if Devil May Cry met Dead Space. It's supposed to be a little bit more on the horror side of things, but I dug it and I loved it. And now they actually did announce there will be a Hellblade 2 called Senua's Saga. And here's a trailer for it.
With our swords, we will forge new stories to strike the gods that haunt us. You might see me as weak, but I will show you what lies behind my eyes. We will embrace our suffering, soothe our scars of grief, and break their siege of our minds. You may see them as gods, but we will show you what lies behind their eyes.
Listen. It's coming. He's here. He can smell you. He's he knows our name.
To risk your own life for what you believe is your sacrifice to make. To lead others to death brings a different kind of burden. One that Senua would have to learn to bear.
Can you smell them? He's here. Death is coming. Look at the bones. Death is coming. Look at the bones. That's going to be you. No one's ever killed a giant. What makes you think you can stay down?
Those whose eyes are clouded by ghosts that haunt haunt them.
Okay. So it does kind of run a little bit on the long side, so we don't want to keep it going. But this part is actually what they showed at the VGAs, where again you literally and figuratively saw where you literally and figuratively, of course, this is taking Senua's story, and they decided, okay, let's go fight a giant, which again fits in with the narrative of Hellblade 2. And again, for all those who are wondering, I did the same thing when I saw this last night. This is actually not the trailer. This is actually the game running on Xbox Series X. So if anything, this is effing smooth right now. And as you can see, it is definitely crazy as far as the story goes. But Senua's Sacrifice, Senua's Sacrifice was a great game. Senua's Saga is the game that we're currently looking at right now. And of course, that game will be coming out sometime in 2022. So I just wanted to stop it right there. Just like I said, it's a fairly long trailer. And again, we're just trying to keep it running through because we actually have some other stuff we want to get to as well. Joe, have you ever played Hellblade before?
No, I just heard about it in passing.
It is interesting. It is definitely third person. It is an interesting story because I played it just because on a whim and found out that I loved it. But yeah, it is definitely not for kids because there is going to be some graphic detail in it. That's the reason why I want to stop it right here because a giant on fire, out of respect for other giants. But it's going to be a great game, which I'm looking forward to in 2022. Quick notes, they did show an updated trailer for Horizon Forbidden West, which again is the next installment in the Horizon series. If you don't know what Horizon Forbidden West is, you are missing out. I would definitely recommend watching Horizon, playing the first one, as this is now the updated one where, of course, Aloy actually goes to the West, finds new machines to fight, as well as new techniques, new suits, new outfits, and really the same type of whether you're hunting, whether it's water and underwater, which is a new one as well. So if you have yet to play it, I would recommend highly playing Horizon Zero Dawn first, as unfortunately Forbidden West is slated to come out in 2022 for the PS5, which means that eventually Will's going to have to buy a PS5 because PlayStation, I do not see them actually going back and actually making games for the PS4.
No, this is going to be on PS4.
Oh, they changed their minds?
Yeah, this will be on PS4.
Oh, well, cool. I stand corrected then. I'm sorry. So, yes, it will be on PS4. So, I'm happy because I was like, man, well, I got to get a PS5 anyway because, unfortunately, Deathloop will never come to PS4, which is another game I want to play badly, but they won't. Bethesda is not going to budge on that. But I was gonna say, but Horizon Forbidden West actually looks great, and I can't wait to play that. Now, another game, Joe, I'm gonna let you take the route on because, pretty much like Wonder Woman, this was a surprise as well. Star Trek Resurgence was a trailer that they actually showed at the VGA Awards, and we're gonna let the trailer play first.
Yeah, actually, I had to consult a friend of mine. Well, we'll play some of it a bit.
No, you got to go ahead.
No, go ahead. Show the trailer.
It's been a dream of mine since before I came to Mexico. So I would be honored to become a captain someday. We need to learn everything we can.
You're not gonna die. Not if I have anything to say about it.
This can't be right.
Time to impact 1 minute. Jara, I need you to do the right thing. fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
And that was the trailer for Star Trek Resurgence. If you're like me and Joe who are Trekkies, this is awesome. But go ahead, Joe, what are you going to say?
Oh, yeah. No, so a couple things on this one. This is taking place in the TNG era towards the end. I got corrected on that earlier by a much more devout Trekkie than I. I am actually relatively new to Trek, save for Deep Space Nine and Lower Decks. I am actually on midway through season 2 of Discovery.
Discovery is so freaking good. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
So, anyways, yeah. So that explains why Leonard Nimoy is back from the grave in this game because Spock is still technically alive in this.
Yeah.
I just don't know if this is in the Kepler universe or the original timeline.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's always hard to decipher, and even I really don't know half the time. But I am really looking forward to this. This is actually being made, as I said, from a new studio made of former developers of Telltale. This looks a bit more. I believe it's in the opening of the trailer. Yes.
Yeah, it's made from the same. It's made from Telltale Games. So
It's not made from Telltale Games. Telltale Games is done and over with. They're gone. This is a developer made of former Telltale people. It also shows that this has more interactive elements than a standard Telltale game because we do see some minor action elements and some more exploration and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which I like. Other than just straight watch a cutscene, make a dialogue choice, and watch a cutscene.
Because I thought the same thing. I thought it was like Detroit Stay Human. It's like gonna be full narration. It's gonna be like full narration, and then you just make your choices as you go along.
Don't get me started on that because that's the new Star Wars is being made by David Cage's studio.
Is that what Star Wars Eclipse is?
Yeah, that's the David Kage studio. That's Quantum Dreams.
Oh wow! So Detroit Stay Human and Star Wars. Ha! I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What else were you gonna say about Star Wars? About Star Trek Resurgence?
I am just really looking forward to this. I actually got to go ask her if the USS Resolute has been in any of the expanded fixture. Not. But yeah, no, I am super looking forward to that. Incidentally, I'm also looking forward to that thumbnail down in there because I was a huge fan of the first Space Marine game, Warhammer 40K Space Marine. I did not expect them to ever make a Warhammer 40K 2 Space Marine 2.
That was surprising as all get out myself. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Unfortunately, did they ever say a release date for spring 2022?
Yeah, spring. So that's going to get here quicker than we think.
Right. But they actually did have a lot of other surprises, especially one of the blue kind. So they actually did show the trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Choking the camera?
Say what?
You mean Jim Carrey screaming into the camera and choking it?
You know what? I wanted to find that. Don't you? He said this. I can't repeat it. I can't repeat it. He's. You know what? Let me just play the trailer. Here's the trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog 2 before we talk about anything else. So apparently Knuckles knew the way. He knew the way because wow. So that was actually the trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Joe, what did you think of it, man?
So incidentally, today I was watching this, and then a friend pointed out this has a lot of the same story beats as Sonic Adventure 1. Like the street level, the snowboard level, the chaos, the Master Emerald,
Yeah.
and the giant temple.
Which I'm not knocking it. I just like the fact that they Jim Carrey. I always say it best. Every movie is defined by a great villain, and the fact that Jim Carrey has gave us Dr. Robotnik as we believe he should be, even though there's a weight proportion issue, but I can live with that. But it just looks awesome to me. I just thought to myself, it's like in the VGA Awards, the guy who actually voiced the song was like, "Thank you guys for complaining about how my feet and head look, how Sonic's feet and head look. That saved us so much time." Saying about a knock about the fact of how the first time Sonic looked like he looked horrible, and it's like, yeah, imagine what happens if you actually take your time and add a little bit more money to it. How Sonic looks, but again, I loved it, and again, Knuckles looks great. And of course, the Master Emerald and Tails. I think it's going to be a great story. As we will wait for that, I think it said April the 8th of 2022. Yep. So a lot of stuff is going to be definitely coming out next year. But Joe, anything else you want to add to this?
I'm just kind of wondering why it's just not called Sonic 2 and Knuckles. I mean, that was a thing you could do when if you had Sonic and Knuckles and just put Sonic 2 in there.
That is true. That's Sega. Sega was a genius for giving us that.
Actually, I don't think I've ever seen any other video game ever attempt to do that.
Nah, not outside of Game Genie. That was, when you can hack games. Remember we could hack games when all we needed was a certain device.
Anybody could ever beat Bayou Billy.
Oh, Bayou Billy. You ain't wrong. Bayou Billy or Ninja Gaiden, one of the two. But again, with that being said, that's going to come out April 8th, 2022. Also, that's not the only Sonic news we got. Sonic actually did have a video game coming out also in 22 as well called Sonic Frontiers. Here's a trailer. This will be the one time where I sit there and I say, above all else, I have no idea. It's like you see this, and all you can sit there and say is, where exactly are they going with this? You gotta unmute yourself, Joe.
So, incidentally, I was watching the Video Game Awards last night on the Yo Video Games stream. One of the guys that has really good network content, like they all do. They're all very entrenched in the video game community because they're all ex-employees of one company or another. And they actually said, one of them said, he talked to a couple of the QA people.
Yeah.
The QA people said this is not a good game at the moment. It's too big for its own good. For an open world, there's no reason Sonic needs to be in an open world. And it's so open space that there's not a lot of things to do at the moment. So this is like early alpha or beta testing. So hopefully they can get it. But if you're hearing an open world game is too big for its own good, maybe it doesn't need to be open world. Or I think they also said they had some underpopulation issues.
I'm just like, wow, if it's already sounding like the game is broken before you even get to it.
No, let me ask something. What makes anyone think a Breath of the Sonic is a good idea? We are not here. Yes, there is a dream that everybody for some reason has of Sonic running in an open field forever, but you know,
I
when you put it into practice, is that really what you want? Or do you want something more like Sonic Mania?
Sonic Mania would probably be the Sonic Mania was honestly like the Burnout Paradise. That was the peak. I don't think you really could. I don't think you really could do more than that. I don't think you really should do more than that. And I admit, with Sonic, Sonic does, the way Sonic games are, they push physics, they push the envelope, they push your timing and everything else. But, an
I
open
think it's
world
just
Sonic,
go
an
ahead.
open world Sonic, though, I agree with you. An open world Sonic doesn't really make sense.
Sonic does not favor 3D. He favors 2D or 2.5D.
Yeah,
Like Sonic Colors, well, except for that Switch version of Sonic Colors, but they're working the bugs out on that. Sonic Generations, he just hasn't had a good fare with 3D movement. Almost
especially
ever.
I think Dreamcast. I think Dreamcast nailed it, and I think they just actually just left the formula. The
Well, yeah,
first of the
that's why the movie's going to be Sonic Adventure 1.
yeah, because the
God,
first
it's
Sonic,
be a Big the Cat Map movie though.
yeah, but like the first Sonic game we had on Dreamcast was perfect. It actually had the mechanics down. It actually didn't make you feel like you were going to be seasick. It didn't make you figure out motion sickness. A lot of people actually did get motion sickness from playing Sonic, but it made it fit. So that's why I'm like with Sonic Frontiers. I'm like, yes, I'm happy that Sega is still putting out games. I wish they just go ahead and put out a console again, but hey, I understand. But yeah, I just would now knowing that about Sonic Frontiers, that there's a lot of technical issues as well as game direction. Yeah, that does make me worry a little bit.
Well, like I said, that was probably their impression of either an alpha or a beta. They still got time ahead. Maybe they can add some stuff to do in the game. Maybe they can condense some areas. Because from what I understand, and again, this is based on the Yo Video Game stream.
Mhm.
It was said that when you approach the pylons, it sets out a track for you to race on
Yeah,
or a path for you to race. But like I said,
it was odd. Although I will say this moving forward, though, we actually do have two more trailers before we get into our episodes, and then to Joe's news and Joe's news and top five comics. Another game, which again I can't help, but every time I see the trailer for it, I know Joe's the same way about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It is a game that we are both expecting, are both looking forward to, and this was a trailer that they released at the Video Game Awards.
Justice League. I think of Wonder
All right, guys. So that was actually the trailer for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. And if you're like me, I just want to play. Wait, what about you, Joe?
I am waiting to and hoping this is not purely multiplayer, class based.
Uh-huh.
I really want to be able to play this on my own, kind of like it be like pick a dude and give commands a la Guardians of the Galaxy. If it's multiplayer, that's fine, but I wanted to have some sort of single player element where I can pick somebody and everybody else is bots.
That's what I wonder myself, because they didn't really, did they ever go into a lot of the instruction on how to play, how this is gonna be
No,
played?
this is our first actual official gameplay trailer.
Okay. Because I was thinking about that myself. It's like, is it gonna be kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy where you're just controlling one person and, like, you know, the rest are being controlled by bots? Or are you gonna be controlling their abilities, or how would that actually work? So yeah, I agree with you. It's like, it doesn't, I mean, gameplay wise, it's phenomenal. I love the fact how, you know, Harley Quinn is pretty much web slinging, which, you know, they don't want to throw that out there. I was like, I see Spider-Man mechanics when I see him. And the whole thing with Deadshot and Captain Boomerang, which a lot of people don't understand, that's the Captain Boomerang that actually has speedster abilities. So I had
Which
somebody
is
saying,
weird because it's Digger, but Digger didn't have the super speed. That was his son
right.
that had the super speed, but you know, whatever.
And then King Shark. I mean, I love the fact that they all were showing how their abilities will work and work in tandem. But again, it's like, you know, it does actually say a lot about, or more about the story that somehow Brainiac has taken over the Justice League. And of course, Amanda Waller doesn't care. She's like, everybody has to die. But I'm looking forward to this just because, again, it is definitely adult, as you probably heard from the soundtrack of this trailer. So I apologize. I didn't catch that till like the last second. But it is definitely not for kids. But for the rest of us who are more in the adult age, this is probably one of the games we're looking forward to. Just because the simple fact of the matter, it is a Suicide Squad. And again, I have to give it to Warner Brothers. You're actually taking risk. Bravo. I never thought I would say that about Warner Brothers. Outside of you doing a Wonder Woman game and actually going a different route with actually playing villains, but still making them play like Suicide Squad. Bravo to that. As far as the game goes, it's still looking at sometime in 2022. We don't have a more exact time date than that, but again, we're looking forward to it. Really quickly, this game itself is we're also talking about called Forspoken, and again, another game which we're going to just play because again, it's actually going to be coming out very soon. But if you don't know what Forspoken is, it's actually a trailer that actually is currently showing right now. Joe, we actually have it muted. So I just really want to know your thoughts really quick about Forspoken.
Oh, I'm gonna play
it. I mean, I'm going to play it too. I mean, just from the looks of things, it looks awesome. Just from the fact of, just from the visual aspect, the mechanics of it, the fact of just using the elements, it just looks like it's just going to be cool.
Oh yeah, no, it takes a lot to get me to play a fantasy game, and not called Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, but third-person action game that's going to be fantasy-based. Yeah, I'm down with it. I'm more than okay with this.
Yeah, and I think that I want to say, did they say it was a release date? Yes, they did finally give a release date. So actually, Forspoken will actually come out May 24th of next year. So a lot of games are definitely going to be released right around the spring, end of spring, going into summertime, 2022. But from the look of this, I was like, this just I can see I get Lord of the Ring vibes, I get Shadow of Mordor vibes, I get a little bit of Diablo, I get a little bit of everything, honestly. But it just looks like it's going to be cool to me. But if you're wondering, yes, you can pre-order now. I know some people like go pre-order. I know for sometimes we are a little gun shy. We don't want to get burned on games. But I think Forspoken is going to be one of those games that is just going to be awesome to me. And I know Joe is saying way about this. So again, those are the games that we thought were great from the Video Game Awards. And again, the other games, like I said before, I mentioned earlier about Cuphead, about Babylon's Fall, Monster Hunter Rise, Sunbreak, and Evil West. They were all great games too, and you can definitely check those trailers out on YouTube as well.
There was
But anyway,
other one, but we don't have to go find the trailer for it. But that little Grim Reaper platform game.
Have a Nice Death?
Death. That was
Yes.
fun.
Have a Nice Death did look great. I thought about that. I was like, Have a Nice Death did actually look great. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be looking for that one. I need to hurry up and finish my gaming rig so I can actually play that. But moving right along, guys, we're gonna get to our weekly shows. First and foremost, I did want to talk about Flash because Flash kind of pulled an Agatha all along. Which in this case, we are going to talk about it. So if you have not yet seen Armageddon Part 4, now would be a good time to mute us or come back to us in about the next couple of minutes because Joe, I want to let you go first. What did you think of Armageddon Part 4?
Called it.
You did. I will give you credit for that, sir. You did call it that. It was when I say about Agatha all along. What Joe is pretty much saying is that a couple of podcasts back, when we first started talking about Flash Armageddon, he did say that at the end of all this, that it was probably reversed. It was probably reverse Flash. Eobard Thawne was at the center of all this, and in Part 4, it did actually did reveal him to be the source of the issues of why Despero wants to kill Barry Allen. And again, the whole point of why Barry Allen's suit was yellow in this episode and why his was red. Overall, it wasn't a bad episode. I kind of liked it. There was a lot of plot holes, though. Reason being that if, Reverse Flash went back in time and basically caused all these incidents to happen, how was Flash not aware? How was Speed Force not aware? How was it that none of the events surrounding Barry were altered in such a way, but yet were able to work well into the future? Make it make sense. Because it's funny because correct me if I'm wrong on this, Joe, because he does go back in time and says that he basically alters everything to where he gets the lightning instead of Barry. He basically makes Iris fall in love with him, not Barry.
Very creepy considering the age difference.
Right. He does all the things that would have made Barry the Flash, but yet Barry becomes Reverse Flash. Now I'm thinking to myself, so you basically created a reverse Flashpoint paradox that seems unaffected?
No, that's literally what he says. He even says in the show episode, I created a reverse Flashpoint.
Yes, but somehow doesn't affect the current timeline.
No, that is the current timeline. That is the current timeline that they are in at 2031. And just stuff has happened because of it. Because he also kills Barry as a kid.
Okay.
That doesn't erase him from existence either.
But you see the point I'm making out of all this.
Yeah, but we also flash back to 2021 where Despero has killed everybody. So
yeah, that's why I'm like, it was still a great episode, but it just felt like there were so many plot holes. It's like, are we going the end game? Are we going the in-game explanation of time travel now? But aside from that, the one thing I did love about this was the whole Damien Dark side. Damien Dark helping Barry Allen. And that was interesting in itself to see that character still alive and actually helping Barry in order to sacrifice himself to again save his daughter Nora. What did make me mad though was the Atom suit.
no, that's not too bad for Ryan Choi suit.
I will respectfully
You're
disagree.
too used to the Atom being the DC show Iron Man with Brendan Ross. For Ryan Choi to have a classic costume suit, that was fine.
I just couldn't get past because in my mind I went back to the Injustice Ryan. I went back to the Injustice Choi suit. That's my favorite. But I was like, and then why was Batwoman even there? I understand, almost everybody that was pulled into Armageddon kind of had their focus on helping Barry in a way. I mean, you saw it with Black Lightning, you saw it with I can't think of his name to save my life right now.
Brandon Roth.
Thank you. And it's like you saw, and you also saw, other people kind of help him along the way. But
next episode's gonna have the Queen kids help him out for whatever reason.
Yes.
Because their show never got picked up.
Yeah, and again, I was like, are you kidding? That's all I was like, you know what? You're trying to make it work. All we can do at this point and just, all we do at this point is hope and run with it. But I mean, overall, I still sit there and say, okay, I understand what you guys try to do. You're trying to kind of reset it to where Flash is going to eventually get his gold boots. That's still funny. I was like, nothing, no Flash is complete without gold boots. But again, I mean, I thought it was an okay episode aside from the plot holes. What did you think about? What did you think of part 4 of Armageddon, Joe?
No, it was fine. It was passable. I sat there, I ate dinner, I didn't have to cough or choke, and enjoyed what I was watching.
Not passable.
It was one of those. No, I knew where this was going because something like this, it's always going to be the Reverse Flash. It's always going to be Eobard. He'll probably still be the season finale somehow too. Finale villain somehow too.
But I can't help but say I wanted something different. I wanted a different villain. I did.
You want a different villain, but then in the grand scheme of things, it always boils down to those two.
But that's the problem with this show. It's like give me a I'm sorry, not to go on the small rant. There are equally cunning villains in Flash's gallery, just as evil and just as decisive as Reverse Flash.
Yeah, but those cost real money, so
that is also true. But still, it's like take a risk.
Take a risk. Show us Necrom, except for the fact that we can't because that'll cost money.
At this point, they're going to lose money. I mean, you're going to lose your show because I don't see the Flash going past season 8.
Season anyways.
They never said it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
So yeah, it'll come down to Reverse Flash again. We all know it will. It's more than likely going to be the finish line story, if anything.
I tried. But the other show that we're going to talk about, which again was actually very fun, Hawkeye episode 4, which again I love because again, if you have not seen Hawkeye episode 4, again you might want to mute us because I am going to show a scene from it that was more toward the end. And if you have not been anywhere near social media, you do know a certain person showed up. But as this clip is playing, what did you think about Hawkeye episode 4, Joe?
Oh, I loved it so much.
I mean,
this needs to go 9 seasons. They just need to do like the whole, as much as they can get away with in the Matt Fraction run of this. Like, I know this is ending in 2 more episodes, which kind of makes me sad. Because I want like more seasons of just Hawkeye and Kate.
But who's not to say they will? Who's not to say this isn't a test run though?
Probably Jeremy Renner.
I mean, that is true. Without him, they really can't be able to do anything else. But of course, with this episode, guys, as you're watching this, they will actually show Black Widow's sister Yelena, who apparently, if you have not seen Black Widow, is basically been put on Hawkeye's trail because of Lady Hydra, because Yelena still believes that Clint is still responsible for her sister dying, which we all know from Endgame that is definitely not true. But
so, the really sad thing about this reveal is the actress posted this clip and was immediately banned on Instagram because so many people complained about her spoiling it. She's just like, can I not be happy for something I've done?
Right. And that's the thing. And that was the thing I just didn't get. I was like, wait a second. So you're happy that you're on the show. You're posting a clip from said show. And people are mad that you, as the person, was spoiling it. So
I can kind of see that to a degree because she was posting that the day the episode came out.
Right. But let's be honest. Most folks are watching it at the hours of 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. Let's be honest.
Yeah. They're not like me where I'm watching it at like 6:50 in the morning while I'm waiting for people to get ready so we can go to work. But I was kind of sad that she got banned from Instagram.
Yeah.
For trying to say, hey, I'm super proud of this.
But I just thought to myself, that's a little extreme. I can understand if she posted it like the day before the episode comes out. But if she's posting it on the day the episode does come out, I'm like, you're not really harming anything. It's like we all speculated that you're going to be on there. We all speculated that you're going to have a run-in with Clint. We all speculated. We just didn't know where it was going to show up. So it's like, I just felt like that was overblown to me, really. But as far as the episode goes, I love it. Also, another thing I did want to point out, and I'm going to stand by this because I'm documenting this at December 10th that I've said this. He's married to Mockingbird.
I don't think it'll actually be Mockingbird, but I do believe that she probably is part of S.H.I.E.L.D. At this point, or a retired S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, or maybe an active S.H.I.E.L.D. agent that just has kids now.
I'm just saying because of the watch. That watch is a tie-in. That watch is a tie-in to Mockingbird.
Not necessarily Bobby, but it could be something. We still
Right.
know who, because it's in Echo's apartment, so it could be anybody's watch at this point. It's just a watch that will probably play more significant in the next 2 episodes.
That's true. Although, he still got to make it in time for Christmas, which makes Hawkeye a Christmas episode, which makes Hawkeye a Christmas tradition.
Yes.
I had to point that out to some people because they still don't believe that Batman Returns is a Christmas movie. It literally happens. It literally happens on Christmas, just like Die Hard.
For the last episode.
Say what?
Did we go over that question I had about the song? Have you ever heard of Gingerbread Man from Sammy Davis Jr. before that?
Yeah, and we still don't, and I've never heard it. I literally went looking through my musical library. I've never heard of that version.
I've never heard it, period.
I was like, when they said it was a version of his Gingerbread Man, I'm like, I went back and actually asked some people who are very well versed in music, and they're like, and one person sat there and said, well, if it was recorded, it wasn't released until recently.
No, it has its own music video.
What?
Yeah, go to YouTube. They have the Sammy Davis Jr. show where he's doing Gingerbread Man on stage.
How is it that we literally... I'm just trying to figure this out. How is it that we literally and figuratively never... It's like, I was there thinking about this. Like, I've never heard of it. But again, I wouldn't be surprised. Although I'll never thought I would hear Gingerbread Man the same way again. Oh, so some bitch. There it is. Yeah, I'll be doggone. Okay, well, I stand corrected, but it's still odd that you'll never hear Gingerbread Man the same way again. But overall, moving forward, Hawkeye just seems to be an awesome episode, and I definitely am not knocking it for that. But beyond that, what are we expecting next couple of episodes? I still say, I said already that the Kingpin I think the Kingpin will show up in No Way Home first. I think, Joe, you were saying we have a better chance of seeing Kingpin and Hawkeye.
I think we have a better chance of seeing Kingpin and Hawkeye. I don't think we're going to see. Well, we'll get into that when we get into that.
You're waiting for No Way Home, aren't you?
No, I'm waiting so I can get the news.
Oh, right. Oh, I'm sorry. Your news. Oh, sorry. I was like, you waiting for No Way Home? I was like, oh, I'm sorry, man. But anyway, but that's really all I got. So, Joe, just let me know. Also, you have to share your screen with me, dude, because
we got just a plethora of comic news coming out right now. So, first off, Marvel announced that coming out of her hit series, What If, Captain Carter will be getting her own book. It will be coming later next year. It will be a 5-issue limited series with Captain Carter in current time. So Peggy Carter as Captain Carter is getting her own book. Is by creator Jamie McKevie. He's had defining work on Captain Marvel, The Young Avengers, had his hand in Secret Empire. For those of you unaware, Secret Empire is where Captain America went Hell Hydra.
Right.
And everything went sideways. And then we memed it for like 5 months afterwards.
And people lost their minds, but go ahead.
And then artist is Marika Cresta, who is currently working on Star Wars Dr. Aphra. I'm looking forward to this. I know several people are already looking forward to this. Kind of bummed it's a mini. But this may be one of the cases of if it sells well enough, that mini will turn into a normal series.
Oh, I still say it's going to be a series. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's going to become a series.
I will definitely be picking this up. I'm sure it'll probably read better for trade, but looking over the artwork, I am really happy with what it's going to be. Looks like it's going to be going on sale in March.
Okay.
Moving right along, Power Rangers is getting a third comic book called Power Rangers Universe, where its title character, the Phantom Ranger, will become the Morphonaut, which is a terrible name, but it's also the Phantom Ranger who was originally all black, now all white and gold, and leading a team of Rangers known as the Legendary Rangers, which is their take on Gosei Sentai Dai Ranger, where we in America got the footage for the Thunder Megazords.
Shadow's gonna love that.
Oh yeah. Again, he's gonna have to rewrite all of his fan fiction. Again.
Sorry, Shadow.
We also have news that former Pink Power Ranger, the original Pink Power Ranger,
Mm-hmm.
Amy Jo Johnson, will be writing her own Power Ranger comic in the near future.
Well, I'm not surprised. She actually is a great director.
Yeah, she just directed an episode of Lois and Clark, I believe, for season 2.
Yep. And also Flashpoint for all those that love Canadian shows.
Yep.
Mhm.
Moving right along, Shang-Chi confirms it will be getting a sequel plus a new Disney series. Its director, where's the director's name? Destin Daniel Cretton has inked a new contract with Marvel Studios,
Mhm.
and who's Onyx Creative, and will be part of developing not only Shang-Chi, but also Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings sequel, but also a Disney Plus series, which will more than likely be the Ten Rings series involving Shang-Chi's sister,
Okay.
who I forget whose name it is right off the bat. My apologies.
Yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. Keep going. I forgot the name. It's like Zia.
Xiling.
There we go.
So there's that to be. Kevin Feige himself confirms that Charlie Cox will be returning as Daredevil for the MCU. He is officially the Daredevil MCU. When we will see him, we do not know. It is my personal theory that we will establish Matt Murdock in No Way Home, and then we will see him more than likely in Echo.
Although, like I said, hey Kevin, hey sir, Mr. Fane, could you also bring back Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and recast Iron Fist? We're good.
Let's not bring back Luke Cage. Let's reboot Luke Cage, because I still don't like how season 2 ended him with him becoming the bad guy.
That's the showrunner's fault, but I see your point.
Also from Marvel Comics, we got more Marvel Comics news. Destiny of X will be kicking off shortly. This is the third arc of the current Jonathan Hickman, now Jerry Dugan run X-Men. Books are already currently ending. New books will be starting as the year goes on. We will be getting, the new books will be Immortal X-Men, Knights of X, Legions of X, and X-Men Red. Books will be rebooted with either new writers or different shifting members. So Marauders is going to be ending and then restarting in March under a new writer with new characters.
Phase 6.
Huh?
Phase 6. I'm sorry.
I don't know what you're saying.
I was saying Phase 6. I'll say MCU Phase 6.
No, if they're going to do Phase 6, it'll be after this ends, because that way they can put the actors' faces on the characters.
I'm still calling 6, but go ahead.
X-Men will be coming back. We also know that Cyclops has left the team, and we have a new character called Captain Krakoa as the new leader of the X-Men team.
Interesting.
Wolverine is going through some stuff because he'll be having the event of the 10 Deaths of Wolverine. New Mutants is going along just fine, and they should not be messed with under any circumstance.
But they're going to be.
More than likely. X-Men Red, meaning Jean may get her own X-Men team again, because that was a very popular book prior to the X-Men hard rebooting into the Dawn of X period was X-Men Red.
Yeah.
We have status quo changes. First peek. We get a nice splash page if you go over to Marvel to see all the characters. We also see New Mutants' new storyline coming up is Magic taking the role as Sorcerer Supreme now that Doctor Strange has died for the time being.
For now.
For now. Until the movie comes out. Then he'll be better.
Oh, I got a buddy of mine who just discovered Doctor Strange after the movies, and he is so down the rabbit hole. It's beautiful.
A Strange Academy is a fantastic series. The final thing on the news is Marvel Comics is gearing up for the 30th anniversary of 2099 of the 2099 imprint, specifically Spider-Man 2099 in 2022. A lot of numbers there. Steve Orlando will be writing the comic. Orlando's preview is a double-page spread art from Paul Fry. This is also going to be coinciding with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse because 2099, Oscar Isaac's 2099, may be the accidental antagonist / protagonist of the film.
Right.
And people, please also keep in mind, 2099's costume is black and red, not navy.
You know somebody's going to point that out. You already know somebody's going to point that out.
Oh, I know someone will, but Peter David, co-creator of 2099, said the costume is black and red. They just made a coloring error when they printed the comic.
Yeah. It could have been yellow and red, and then it'd be like Reverse Flash in Spider-Verse.
Stop that.
I'm just saying, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's all the news I got. Shifting over into comics of the week.
All right. Give me a second. All yours, sir.
First off, we got crossover with Donny Cates, Jeff Shaw. They also have special guest writer for pages 12 through 17. Brian Michael Bendis pops in because, as we heard, Scott Snyder in the last issue was murdered by the Batman Who Laughs. He has yet to be taken into custody, but we get plenty of cameos of other comic book characters being processed as this issue looks at the gentleman running the superhero prison and processing precinct, Director Pendleton,
That's a mouthful.
Pendleton, where, however, that's not the highlight of this issue. The highlight of the issue is the Powers team drags in Brian Michael Bendis to talk to him. And Brian Michael Bendis is freaking out that he's talking to his own creations. Meanwhile, his own creation's like, we do not have time for this bullshit. Especially Dina. She's just having absolutely none of it. So they inform Brian Michael Bendis, like, so you're one of the comic book killers. Like, comic book author is killing people? It's like, no. Someone is killing authors. It's like, oh God, who's died? Chip Zdarsky, you get like this giant reaction from him. Someone else that he's actually worked very closely with, giant reaction. Then they say Scott Snyder, no reaction whatsoever.
Dang.
Then Brian Michael Bendis brings up a good point. It's like, shouldn't we bring in my co-writer and artist for protective custody? So he brings them in, and it just gets sillier. It was a really good issue. I really enjoyed this. The humor of comic book authors it's just hilarious, especially with the surprise at the end of the issue of who they got in maximum Omega level confinement.
Oh, wow. I got guesses, but I'm going to wait.
Well, I'll tell you who it is afterwards.
All right.
Hopping on over to Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man issue 80-BEY. This is written by Ziegler, who is the third of the Spider-Man writers. Art by Farelli and some by Rosenberg. covered by Rosenberg. How do I put this? This is Aunt May hires Dr. Octopus to find a cure for Peter. Dr. Octopus keeps trying to hit on May. May keeps saying, stay in your lane.
Oh man, I just can't. I can't. That was straight face.
Makes them promise not to hurt anybody, of course. Like the moment they separate, he immediately starts hurting people. She, on the other hand, goes to the UFOs and finds the lady that turns into radioactive gas in her gas form. And explains like, hey, my nephew got caught in your attack and he's in a coma. Can I please take a sample from you? And the lady's like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. We were only after Spider-Man. Oh, please, ma'am, please, by all means, I want to help as much as I possibly can. So May just easily gets a sample just from asking and says like, hey, my nephew got caught up in this accident. Could you help?
Just wow.
Meanwhile, Otto's like taking out guards and like throwing criminals up against everything. And he's like, well, you can't be trusted, so I'm done with you. I'll find another way. So Otto feels very guilty, and a cure for Peter is found anonymously. May's like, yeah, I'm not going to tell Peter how we got this. The whole point is just, the best part about this book is Otto continuously hitting on May, and May telling Otto, stay in your lane.
It's just so odd to see Doc Ock hitting on Aunt May.
No, that history goes back way long, and I love that they respect that. Like I said, it's just so much fun. Otto, stay in your lane. I'm not interested. We're doing this for Peter.
Oh man.
Oh, it was such a fun book.
I just can't get past that. I'm sorry. You keep going. I'm just stuck on that right now.
All right, jumping on over, we are looking at the first part of Chip Zdarsky, and I don't remember his first name, but his last name is Cicchetto. It may be Mike Cicchetto. Don't quote me on that. But this is the new Daredevil event, which is what the Daredevil book ended and is shifting into. This is a straight level event. So this is encompassing pretty much everybody we see. So the whole premise is Wilson Fisk is still Mater. He is absolutely pissed because he has realized his memory has been tampered with because Matt Murdock made everybody forget who he was because his identity was exposed.
Right.
And used the Purple Man's kids to erase everybody's memory of who he was. Wilson had that folder prior to this stating who Daredevil is, so he'll always remember. But the files in there are gone magically. Because you know if the Kingpin has information, he's not letting go of it. And there's no way you're getting it.
Pretty much, yeah.
So he's aware that his mind's been tampered with. So to get back at Matt, at Daredevil, he has made superheroes outlawed in New York. And then immediately forms the Thunderbolts to head up their capture as they did during Civil War, which even Iron Man's like, yeah, we tried that once. It didn't work out well.
We tried to do the superhero act. And yeah.
Thor came back. We had words. He had words. I had no words. So the current iteration of the Thunderbolts is Doc Ock. Not surprising that he'd be a Thunderbolt, but not surprising that he is leading the Thunderbolts. Rhino, not quite Juggernaut or Atlas, but he tries. Agony, she's the purple Lady Carnage. Lady Shocker, gender bending cloning is now an option.
Dang.
U.S. Agent, still not the worst thing he's done so far in this book.
Keyword, so far.
And the Shocker, because everybody needs cannon fodder.
Dang.
So much so that I've already posted a panel from this book on my Facebook that shows him just through sheer happenstance running into Luke and Jessica and their kid and tries to arrest them. And Luke Cage just says, as Hank Hill puts it, he politely yet firmly asked him to leave.
Still, just cannon fodder. I was like, just. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Oh no, that was pretty much it. So we get the new establishment of the Thunderbolts. Already some heroes are arrested. Some heroes are going on the lam. We see that they are immediately utilizing the secret Avenger base that Captain America made from during Civil War. Some of these timelines don't add up right now because Ben and Miles are good. Let me put it this way in the comics. In
Okay.
Spider-Man, Ben and Miles are not good.
Oh, right. I was like, I thought I was like, wait a minute, aren't they? No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of a whole other story.
This is happening a little bit ahead of where everybody is in the current time frame of comics. Like the Thing is good with everybody. He's not in his own book at the moment. So, yep. Definitely be on the lookout for this. I'm going to try to get every single tie-in, especially the Luke Cage one, because my boss is a huge Luke Cage fan. I have no problem grabbing him Luke Cage comics.
Nice.
Jumping over into DC, we are looking at a new book called The One Star Squadron. Superman service at Bizarro level prices. Oh, it's exactly what you think it is because the casting is Minutemen, the Heckler. I have no idea who this is. Gangbuster. No idea who this is. The Folded Man, who was a Flat Wally villain for like the Dark Wally saga. Red Tornado and Power Girl. This is exactly what it looks like, people. This is a JLI homage.
Ooh, I got no words.
Oh, like you would not believe. Like, there's a scene where it shows like some of their mini services, and it shows Dark Hawk on Tinder, or no, Black Condor on Tinder, and it says like not to be used for a superhero dating service.
Dang.
It so even shows like a bar mitzvah shout out for a bar mitzvah video. Everything. Red Tornado's running the agency. Heckler is in a phone line cubicle taking phone calls. Minuteman's just lamenting how he just never could be as popular as the other speedsters. Gangbuster is getting out of the hospital from having too many head injuries. No, that part is actually really sad. He like truly has CTE and is having really severe mental issues to the point where even his wife doesn't want him back home. Afraid that he'll slip back into superheroism and permanently injure himself.
Okay, but still, I mean, that's just the rest. Wow, I got no words. I got nothing for this. I really don't have anything for this aside the fact of just it's like having it's like having the lowest tier go out and try to be heroes. There's no other words for this.
No, they're heroes for hire service is what they are, but it's not like Luke Cage hero for hire. Oh, you need me to go get money from Dr. Doom. It's, oh, you need Power Girl to give a shout out for your bar mitzvah or birthday video?
It's like, sure.
They even do address some of the higher level heroes of like Red Tornado and Power Girls. Like, why are they there? Like Red Tornado's like, I just needed a 9 to 5 because I wasn't part of the Justice League. The League is always happy to help me, but I still have to pay bills. And Karen's like, I've been lost for the past decade because of a certain speedster. So my company doesn't exist anymore, and I got to rebuild start enterprises from the ground up. Thanks, Barry.
Barry, poor Barry.
No, she literally calls him out on it. It's like, yeah, because somebody had mommy issues. I don't have a company anymore.
Dang. Psychological trauma. How to hurt a speedster.
But like I said, but everybody else in this picture, like, he's just mad because he's a Silver Age hero that never got as popular as the Flash is. I don't know what to tell you about the Heckler. I'm just happy he got a new costume, even though my buddy who does cosplay the Heckler does not like this costume.
I'm still laughing at the fact of him at a phone service. It's like, that is not.
I noticed that he's their secretary.
Still, it's just you want to add fuel to a fire.
This is just a Giffen DeMatteis Kevin McGuire homage done perfectly. I am more than okay with this being 6 issues. This is just JLI, but to the lowest common denominator.
Oh man. Okay. I can see that. Show me the mud.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Why can I see that and already be cracking up laughing? Just see, come on, you say it. I love black people. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then finally, we have the Dark Knights of Steel issue 2 by Tom Taylor, art by Putri, and cover art by Perinano. I'm really sorry if I mispronounced that. A lot of things are confirmed. A lot of characters get added this issue. It is confirmed that Bruce is indeed half Kryptonian.
Okay.
So someone's mom and someone's dad did something. We learned that Supergirl is in this series, and she is actually Clark's sister. In fact, she is the older sister.
Interesting.
Along with her girlfriend, Diana. So news reaches, unfortunately, Laura in this one has anger issues. So Ollie gets captured. He loses an arm.
Okay.
Because of course Ollie always does. They keep alluding to the Green Man, so we don't know if that means... We know it means it's a Green Lantern, but we don't know which Green Lantern. News is broken to Laura while she is training on Themyscira. We see her kiss Diana and then fly off. And then she commits mass acts of genocide against Black Lightning's kingdom.
Oh.
Because we see that he's a father of 3. By the end of this issue, he's a father of 2.
Dang.
Jefferson Pierce never had a son, did he?
No.
Yeah, he doesn't have a son anymore in this either. Because Kara's like a me. He's like, so, did you kill my dad? He's like, I did no such thing. Rips a whole chunk of the castle out and grabs his son by the throat. So I'm going to ask again, did you kill my dad? It's like, no. It's like, okay. Just let's go with the sun. The sun dies in the fall.
Dang.
It's like, so, I know you killed my dad. Consider this an act of war. Bye.
Dang. That is just, that's hateful. That's just no other way I can say that. There's hate.
Like I said, this is adult Kara like in the Supergirl book.
Yeah.
No chill whatsoever.
No mercy.
Well, I mean, they did kill her dad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but still, Jesus.
Meanwhile, Clark is, of course, looking for a better way because we see him going in the jail cells. Like, none of these people have done anything wrong other than be themselves. We see, like, Blue Devil and Ragman. There's even a small thing from Detective Bobo. And he's like, I mean, I was just eating at the marketplace. And then someone just goes, quiet, you.
Dang. I wasn't even there.
I was just eating in the marketplace. But no, that was my favorite thing, is just how angry Kara was in this. Like, so you killed my dad? No. Sure you didn't kill my dad? Promise? Yeah, you killed my dad.
Just dang. That's just that whole part was just all right.
That's really what it was.
That's just the whole point of, okay, well, since you seem adamant.
Well, the bad part is no one else knows this is going on. So, like, Clark doesn't know this is going on. Bruce doesn't know this is going on. The mom doesn't know this is going on. This is straight up Supergirl doing this on her own.
Dang. That's saying a lot.
Oh, and Constantine's there just for like comedic purposes. Because he keeps trying to light a cigarette, but like the whole time he's trying to light a cigarette, the two Thunder and Lightning are trying to like master their power, so a lightning storm always happens near Constantine, so the cigarette's always rained out.
I had that. I saw that going so differently in my head. You're sitting there trying to get a light, and lightning's all around you. Hey, would y'all mind? That would be better.
No, so there's my top 5 of the week. I really, really enjoyed this stuff. Except I can't show this, even though, yeah.
Still, wait a minute. Which Batman is this?
This is a new Batman book coming out called Dark Knight. It's a Black Label book.
One
Dark Knight.
Okay, because I was like, oh, One Dark Knight. Oh, Black Label.
Written and drawn by Jock.
Well, that being said, as Joe is showing that, guys, we do also want to shout out Rick's Comic Book City, who always gives us love. We want to show love back to them. They actually have 3 wonderful locations if you're in Tennessee: Fort Campbell, Clarksville, and Donaldson. So if you definitely can check them out, go ahead and do so, because again, comic books, I mean, there's nothing wrong with digital comic books, especially those from Comixology and Amazon, but there's nothing about having an actual comic book in your hand and actually having a piece of literature that you can take home with you. Ask Joe. There's very few people I know that have the same type of collection this man has, and has single-handedly made sure to complete his collection. So
they're about to be out of all their Kate Bishop.
He's already planning. So definitely give
a
a shout out to
the box.
So definitely give a shout out to Rick's Comic Book City for them always letting them do stuff. Also, if you're not able to get to a comic book store, definitely check out your local library. They actually carry the latest editions of comic books, of manga, and also videos that you can check out at the price of $1 for a library card. So again, they are living institutions that still where you can find out great things. So in case, like I said before, if you can't reach comic book stores like Rick's Comic Book City, definitely check out your local library to where you can actually still be able to get your comic book fix in. And of course, like I said, $1 for a library book. They're not even charging that much to overdue books anymore, but just saying. But with that being said, Joe, any new stuff you want to let people know about before we wrap it up, sir? Oh, I think he froze. I think Joe is frozen. Well, as I'll give Joe a few seconds to come back. But while we're doing this, I do want to shout out some other people before you as we wrap this up. So shameless plugging. I do want to actually show Ari and Geek present Geek Salad. As you can see there, they're actually guys. I want to thank those guys for allowing us to share our podcast on their page. They actually have a Facebook page, as well as a YouTube page you're currently watching right now. They're podcasting guys like us that do talk about a lot of things in the world of pop culture and things beyond that, and unfiltered things as well. So definitely give them a look, a like, share, and subscribe. Ari and Geek present Geek Salad, as you can see there. Definitely let them know, because again, and also to Ari the King, yes, Zack Snyder should still not be directing movies. I know it's between me and him. He'll get it. Beyond that, guys, I did want to also point out another podcasting brethren of mine who currently is on hiatus right now, and understandably so. I did want to shout out my buddy, Big BZA Dot, which you can find him on Adamon Westwood on Facebook, Big BZA Dot on all streams, on all socials, as he does have a couple of podcasts himself. The Smoking Trailer Sundays every Sunday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. and the RAF, which is like America's Funniest Home Videos, done by World Star every Tuesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. He is currently on hiatus as of right now until the new year, but definitely check out his best of on his social media pages. And definitely give him a like, share, and repeat as well. There he is. Joe, anybody you want to let guys know anything new that's coming up that you want the crowd know about?
Yeah, I've slowed down a little bit on streaming, mostly because of the holidays, but that's to be expected. Holidays are a busy time. Mm-hmm. I am still doing Mobile Soup Mondays with those nice young ladies from Xeon. That's going well. I am not dying as much, but that game is hard as hell.
Of course.
No, that game is like legit hard as crap. that's probably the only thing I'm going to be doing until the holidays slow down. Other than that, I'll be here. No, I think
And of
that's the
course,
only thing Huh?
I was gonna say, of course, with your No Way Home appearances as well.
Yeah, I'll be in Scarlet Spider over at the Smyrna Theater, the Malco Smyrna Theater, next Saturday. The Tennessee Ghostbusters will be at Murfreesboro tomorrow for a Christmas parade. Not tomorrow, excuse me, Sunday for a Christmas parade in Murfreesboro. 50-50 if I'm there. I am actually starting a new project for a brand new pack. So we'll see how that works.
I can't wait to see how that looks after you get done with it.
It's just going to be a PlayStation foam on it. I do not have a extra $400 to go buy a Apple Power CD.
I'm still surprised they made those. But where can they find you joining the social, sir?
Joe Italian last name on Twitter, Nashville Scarlet Spider or Nashville Green Lantern, and my Twitch is Joe Italian last name.
Still say that's the awesomest Twitch name I've ever heard of.
I may do like something on YouTube because I do have Total Justice Gaming, so I haven't done something on there in a while. I may put something up there. I don't know what game.
Well, I'm definitely for it. So again, definitely check out Joe on that because I'm pretty sure we are still going to come forward. Like I said, we're going to try to do as much podcasting as possible. I know usually during the holidays, I usually kind of halt it till next year, but I figured, what the crap, we're gonna run with it as much as humanly possible. So I know a lot of people I know some people are wondering, are you guys probably gonna be streaming on Christmas Eve? Yeah, I will. I'll ask Joe what his plans are. And yeah, we'll be here Christmas Eve because, for all those that still believe in Santa, I'm not going to ruin this for you because there's a certain person that's watching this that has yet to have this conversation with her son, so I'm not going to do that to her. But
what are you talking about? Santa's real?
Say what?
So what are you talking about? Santa's real? Like, he gets in and out of Apocalypse and is always able to dodge Darkseid's Omega beams. That man's real.
DC Santa is real. DC Santa is real. And DC Santa is not one to be messed with. You're right about that. But as far as, guys, yours truly, the link that you see scrolling at the bottom, if you basically copy and paste that link into your browser, will take you to my link tree that has the YouTube and Facebook groups for all of our podcasts, How the Frick We Got Here, Off Limits, Fell Off Limits, and of course, Get Bit. My IG handle, BlackFox447. Definitely follow me there on Instagram because I do post movie reviews, video game reviews. Oh, really? Quickly before we finish this up, impressions, Halo Infinite, its campaign was definitely awesome, worth playing at least 30 hours, and has a great story. Really quickly, Joe, your opinions on Guardians of the Galaxy?
Loved it.
And as I did as well, I still believe Guardians of the Galaxy was also the game of, I should say, which tells me that it was either directed or written by James Gunn or had some James Gunn influence. I can tell you that much because as me and Joe both said before this podcast started, the Star-Lord in the video game was much more likable than the Star-Lord in the actual movie, which is weird.
This is not a knock on Chris Pratt. I mean, just the character in general.
Yeah.
That version of Peter Quill is better than that one. Incidentally, kind of also the Gamora, and that's not to say Zoe
Saldana would be good, right?
Yeah, Zoe Saldana, also very good as Gamora, but the video game Gamora is also a little bit better than her.
Yeah.
Drax is kind of interchangeable, though, so I'll say that much.
Yeah, the guy that got voice for Drax nailed it. But again,
the Rocket in this one the Rocket in the video game is a lot meaner and a lot darker than other Rocket.
Yes.
If you are friends with me and go to my YouTube, I actually put up the outtakes for the thing. Even the guy doing Rocket's voice is like, can we lighten this guy up? And he is dark.
Right. But Guardians of the Galaxy was good. For all those that are wondering about Halo Infinite, definitely was good as well. The campaign goes. I'm going to try to hop back on multiplayer a little bit later tonight and see how that goes. But aside from that, like I said before, the podcasts are there for us to find. Of course, my IG handle, you can definitely find me there, BlackBox447. And really just like I said, we're going to keep on rolling every podcast every Friday, hopefully between 8:30 to 10 o'clock. And like I said before, as we're rolling this thing out, guys, I know we kind of danced around this subject earlier today, but honestly, get vaccinated. If you haven't been vaccinated, schedule for your booster. Still wear a mask when you go out. Help people, help healthcare professionals like Joe here have an easier time at work. They already have a challenging profession. Help
Yeah,
them.
do
Help
not
us.
let lure of Omicron Persei 8 win.
Oh, the Futurama. Just Futurama.
That
That
is
means,
their fault for naming it Omicron.
oh, just the Futurama reference. But aside from that, guys, like I said, please mask up. Please get vaccinated if you can. Like I said, help us help them to lower things down. Also, guys, be kind to each other. It takes literally zero energy to be kind. It takes everything to be a dick. Tells you everything else about the world you want to know. Aside from that, guys, as you said, we are working with new things. As you can see here, this setup that we're running on is definitely way smoother. I'm happy for that. And that we will continue to use it in the future. So aside from that, guys, let us know if you like what you saw or didn't like what you know or didn't like what you saw or just had difference of opinions on everything that we discussed. Please let us know so that way we can definitely address that and introduce and continue the conversation. Aside from that, Joey, last words before we call it a night, sir?
No, I'm good.
he's about to hop back on. But with that being said, that's been Joe. I've been Will. This has been the Give It podcast for tonight, guys. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll all get through this. Peace.
Later.